So this is how a standard DIY Eurorack kit usually comes. If we open it, inside we have our kit bag. Opening that, we can see a printed version of the assembly guide. This is also available to download from the website. Then we have the power connectors, PCB and panel, the first component bag, groovy sticker, and the rest of our component bags. So this is everything we need to build our DIY Eurorack module. Looking at the PCB, we can see the various shiny metal solder pads, the white silkscreen markings, and the red solder mask. If we flip over the board, we can see that this is a double-sided PCB. This means there are connections between components on both sides of the board. In electronics, these connections between components are known as traces. The shiny metal solder pads and their associated holes are where we insert the legs of our components for soldering. These holes will be plated on the inside with metal, meaning it can be soldered from either side, and a connection will be made between both sides of the board. The white silkscreen markings indicate where each component should be placed and give clues to their orientation. It's usually the case that the side of the PCB with the silkscreen marking is the side where the particular component should be placed. However, always check the assembly guide first. The red solder mask is there to help prevent solder bridges between adjacent solder pads. The board is typically 1.6 to 2 mm thick and is made from a fiberglass-like material called FR4. The panel is made from 3 mm thick aluminium. It's been drilled to spec and the front panel design laser printed. As well as being strong, the aluminium also offers some shielding to the circuit inside. Kits are usually broken up into various stages by the type of component, if there are multiple PCBs, what's most practical, and whether the parts are to be mounted to the panel or not. In this project we have 4 stages and 4 corresponding bags. The first contains the components that will be soldered to the one PCB in this project and includes resistors, diodes, capacitors, and ICs and their sockets. The second contains some panel mounted components as well as the power connector and a couple of LEDs. The third contains the remaining panel mounted components, which are 4 jack sockets. And the final bag we have the knobs and rack screws. The workbook is the most vital tool when it comes to assembling your kit. In it you have information on all the various components and directions on how they should be assembled. This will include component values and how to identify them. As you go through it, there will often be vital pieces of information that may make assembly a lot easier, be critical to preventing accidental short circuits, or to ensure the long-term reliability of the module. As tempting as it may be, especially if you're a seasoned DIYer, it's essential that you give your full attention to what is written in the workbook.